Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, a show dedicated to helping you expand your capacity, take your life in every area to an entirely new level, and creating a day and a life by design. Here's your host, Dan Hafner. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Run Your Day podcast. As always, your host, Dan Hafner here. Today's topic is this: capacity is everything. As always, I appreciate you guys joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. All right, everyone. So I know I have talked about this on this show before, but honestly, it bears repeating. I can't remember the name of the episode or when it was, but I feel like I've talked about this before. But I had something just kind of happen here inside of business, inside of Runway, inside of the Run Your Day podcast in the past week that just really prompted me to come on and tell this story to you guys, and just kind of this parable. Not so much the parable, but like the lesson, right? And it really started to remind me that, so often in life, we all, maybe not all of us, but if you listen to this show, probably, you want bigger things, you want to have bigger success, you want to have a bigger impact, you want to have a bigger business, better relationship, better body, whatever it might be, right? But what we have a hard time accepting is that sometimes we're just not ready for that level that we think we are, right? We're just not strong enough. Like this is the easiest comparison when you think about like bench pressing or lifting weights, right? Say you want to bench, I don't know, it's called 150 pounds. He's like just a round number, right? But you can only right now bench press 100 pounds, right? When you try to go and do that 150 pounds or 175 or 200 or whatever it is, and it fails and it drops on your chest and you hurt yourself, there tends to be a lot of shame or guilt or embarrassment that comes with that failure, right? But what you fail to realize is that you're just not strong enough to freaking lift that weight, right? Like you're just not. So the way that this applies, like more inside of your career or inside of a business, right? So I remember when I started the Runway Jab, and when I started doing this podcast, even, and the various things I've done in between, um, there's always this expectation of like, man, this should be doing this, I should be doing this. There should be this level of success. There should be this level of revenue. There should be whatever, right? And then over time, I start to realize that like the success that is happening right now and the things that are going on, like if these things were happening a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I just wasn't strong enough. I wasn't capable enough as a businessman, as a leader, as a leader in my own life, let alone inside of a business, right? So basically, the things that have been happening over the last week, like we've got a lot of traction on new challenges coming up. We've got a lot of new different types of introductory challenges and different things that we're going. And we're going a lot of different routes with the app. And it's actually working out really, really well. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from it. And it's kind of caused a level of unprecedented success here, which has been like 2 years coming, right? This has been a really, really long, hard, difficult journey. And everything's just happening so fast right now. And what's crazy is mentally, I can handle these things now. I know exactly what I have to do. I have all the software tools in place. I have all the systems in my life now to be able to handle this added stress, this added weight, right, on the barbell. And I'm stronger as a person. I'm more capable. I'm just better suited to the workload that's in front of me, right? Like you could have given me all of this a year ago or 2 years ago when I started, and I would have buckled. I would have buckled under the pressure, like straight up. I'd been like, I can't do this. I can't handle all of this, right? But now today, yeah, it's a little bit stressful, and it's a little bit like, holy crap, like this is getting big really quick. But what what no one sees is the 2 years of work that I've put in to get to this point, to make myself a stronger human being, to be able to handle it, right? To be able to handle all the sales, to be able to handle all the fulfillment, to be able to handle all the updates, to be able to handle all the technology changes, to be able to handle all the tasks and the menial stuff and the important deep work, and like just the hours and hours and hours of unseen work that goes into a product like that. Like I couldn't handle that a year ago. I couldn't handle that when I started. I started this with an idea and a dream, and like, I don't know what's going to happen with it. I just know that this is going to be a great idea someday, and I'm going to figure it out. And there were hundreds of times when I was like, screw this shit. It's not going to work. It's wasting money. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resource. It's a waste for everyone involved. And then in 1 week, in one freaking week, my friends, shit turns around and it is unbelievable. It's unfreaking believable. But I wasn't strong enough, right? I wasn't strong enough a year ago. I wasn't strong enough, hell, 6 months ago, 4 months ago. But because I keep putting myself under the fire, because I keep getting stronger little bit by little bit every day, I'm at the point now where I can handle that 200-pound barbell, right? I'm at the point where I can handle that added stress. So, right now, shifting this to you, like, what are you hearing me say inside of this episode as it applies to your life, right? Like, where in your life have you gone through a situation, or, had high hopes for something, and maybe you have buckled under the pressure? Maybe you took on a job, right, that you were like super excited for right out of college, or right when you moved somewhere, like whatever, and you're like super excited for it. And then you get there, and like a weekend, you're like, oh my God, I'm pulling my hair out. I can't handle this job. Like there just is like this, it's like drinking from a fire hose, right? You're just like, oh my God, I can't do this. Maybe you've had that happen. Maybe you've had it happen many times in your life, you know? Or maybe, you've been in a situation like where you start taking on a fitness program, and then you start like realizing after the first workout, like, oh my God, this is going to be a lot of work, and I don't know if my body can handle this stress. Like I'm sore, I'm tired, I'm achy, I don't want to do this, right? But have you also been in this situation where you can now look back and realize, like, wow, that workout 3 months ago would have absolutely crushed me, but now today it's actually doing well. Like I'm actually killing it. It's the opposite. Or where in your job or your career, your business, right? Maybe you're in sales, maybe you're in IT, maybe you're in whatever field, right? Like when you started out as a rookie on the first day of the job, like you probably knew next to nothing. And now the daily routine, the daily things you do, the tasks you pull off, the things you do inside of a day would have taken you a week a year ago or 6 months ago. And now you can pull them off in 2 hours. And you don't even take the time to appreciate it or realize it, right? Now that's even a bigger fault. That's a bigger fault that many of us had. Like even I get caught in that. And I'm sitting here thinking right now, like, man, the daily routines that I have every single day from 5 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, like I would not have been able to pull that stuff off like even a couple months ago. Like, but it's a slow process of daily habits, daily victories, daily winnings, just like I talked about in the last episode. Right. So I hope that's what you're kind of hearing from this. So there's really two different questions for today. Right. So where in your life has there been, a time where you have buckled under the pressure, and you just, looking back now after hearing this episode, you can realize like you just weren't strong enough. And it doesn't mean you were a failure or you suck or you're terrible or you're awful. It just means that you weren't strong enough then. And maybe you're stronger now, and maybe it's time to try it again. Or secondly, where in your life are you now realizing that you're stronger than ever, and that what used to be hard for you is actually easy now, and you can take the time to actually be grateful for that and appreciate and give yourself a pat on the back to be like, you know what? Good for me. Good for me. I'm kicking some ass right now, right? So that's just the two-part takeaway that I wanted to give you guys for today. So, needless to say, just keep getting stronger every day. keep getting stronger every day. And sometimes, just like lifting weights, that means you got to tear down a little bit. You got to tear, you tear your muscles down to build them back up. You got to tear yourself down sometimes. You got to go hard in business or in your career or in a relationship or in your body. But you know that it's building for a better future. It's building for a better something, 3 months, 6 months, 5 years from now. Right. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you got a lot out of this episode. So, all right, that's going to wrap up this show. As always, I appreciate you guys joining. Head over to runwageapp.com to get the Runwage app now. We got some cool things coming down the pipe as far as challenges here after Labor Day. And we also have a cool 10-day test challenge that you can get into there right now. So if you go in there, it's the first thing on the homepage. Feel free to join that. It's pretty cool. And you can see what that's all about. So, as always, my friends, that is all for today. Dan Hafner signing off. Make it a great rest of your day. Hey, have you ever thought about joining a virtual run challenge? As COVID-19 continues to upend our lives and change our life routines, finding fresh ways to challenge yourself physically can be difficult. I know I'm having trouble with that. It can also be pretty hard to connect with others and find accountability partners for the purpose of fitness as well. That's why we created Runwage Virtual Challenges. Runwage Challenges are a new and exciting way to stay physically active and maintain social distancing. Every challenge takes place 100% online, and you can compete against and engage with runners from all over the world. Best of all, they are the only virtual challenges out there which actually reward participants with real cash. That means you have no excuse for staying inactive during this pandemic. So if you've been looking for a fresh and interesting way to stay active and get your miles in, go to runwageapp.com/virtual challenges to join me and the diverse community of runners already competing. That's runwageapp.com/virtual challenges. Can't wait to see you there.